I just got off the phone with a good friend of mine who's from the country of Zimbabwe in Africa, and we were discussing who the next president of the United States is going to be. In addition to, we were discussing the current presidential administration, Barack Obama, and his cronies, and the slew of lies that has resulted after his inauguration, and even before. And, you know, what I find interesting is that has America ever had a truly intellectual president? I mean, not to, degrade any of the former presidents, but when is America going to have a truly intellectual president? Someone who has, not just a PhD at the doctoral level, but someone who is a true intellectual. Someone who almost all of America embraces. And persons around the country, people outside of the United States who say, man, this president, whether it's a woman, female, a man, a male, whoever the president is, whoever it happens to be, when are we going to get someone who people are like, wow, now that's what a president is supposed to be like? Okay, that's the quintessential, unequivocal, ideal kind of president. I like this person. I mean, look, first of all, America is largely it's largely Masonically designed. Okay, America was designed by Freemasons. The architecture, the way the streets are laid out in Washington D.C., the different types of infrastructures throughout the country, the topography, the geography, the city streets. America was designed by Masons. Freemasons, American Freemasons. And, so again, it's largely Masonically designed. And, I'm Republican conservative, very Republican. I have liberal friends, just as the inverse with Obama, who says that he's a Democrat and has Republican friends. I don't know how many Republican friends he has. I mean, he says he has Republican friends, and I'm sure he does on some level because, not every Republican thinks alike. Not every Democrat thinks alike. And, for the liberals who voted for Obama thinking that he was liberal, you ought to know by now that he's not a liberal. I mean, he even says that he's not a liberal and doesn't understand why people think that he's liberal because he has not, as far as I know, he has not said that he's liberal and he's not referred to himself as being liberal. But you had all these people who were caught up in this Obama hype. And that's what my friend from Zimbabwe and I just talked about 7.5 minutes ago. There were all these people under the illusion that they, themselves being liberal, were voting for a liberal president. Well, look, they're surprised now, right? They realize that they made a mistake, and you see that pattern repeating itself across the social networks, chiefly Facebook and and elsewhere. And so they say, hey, we voted for the wrong president. We all voted for the wrong president. Well, first of all, you shouldn't include we all, because it's not all of us. I didn't vote for the president. You did. These people who say we all voted for the wrong president. And see, they still have that residual mindset that everyone was voting for President, Obama. And, so that's the mentality that a lot of Americans have had, is that they think that it's an all for one for all thing. That's the mindset that they have. And they need to understand that, look, Bush, he had the popular vote. What was it, like 54% of Americans voted for him at some point, yet all these foolish people in Seattle were saying, oh yeah, nobody in America likes George Bush. Nobody in America likes it. Because in Seattle, that's how, a lot of people thought. And they thought that everybody in the United States thought the same way as they did. And, come to find out that, that's just Seattle thinking that way. And so, and relatively few other people elsewhere, because at the time, George Bush had the popular vote. Well, it's the same thing with Obama. People are saying, oh, we all. No, it's not all of us. Okay? Not all Republicans are conservative. Some Republicans are moderate. Some Republicans are in between that degree. And so it just depends. I mean, there are gradations of all these different schools of thought, and I tend to be more of a staunch conservative Republican, black African American. And I'm not an Uncle Tom. I'm not a fucking sellout. Hey man, if you think I'm a sellout because I don't believe in government handouts, because I don't believe in fucking affirmative action, then fuck you, man. Straight up. Take your Uncle Tom rhetoric and lingo and go fuck yourself, man. Okay, I could just as easily say that, liberals are fucking Uncle Toms. You know? Uncle Tom, man, a lot of people that use this expression, Uncle Tom, they haven't even read the fucking book. The book in which the term Uncle Tom was coined. Yet they run around talking about, you're this, you're that. They label you this, or they want to label you that, or whatever, man. Fuck you. Straight up, man. If you're someone who thinks that African Americans, blacks who are, conservative, Republican are Uncle Toms, and that's your little catchphrase, Uncle Tom, man, fuck you. You're an Uncle fucking Tom. I don't believe in government handouts. I work for my fucking self, okay? I earn my own money. I'm not going to the government for a handout, and I don't believe in affirmative action. I think that if you're going to get into a college or university, it should be based on your own doing. Your own hard work, man. Not because of the color of your skin. Man, fuck that shit. And I don't want 40 acres and a fucking mule. Sometimes, man, to be honest, man, I don't even want to have any fucking thing to do with certain sectors of the United States of America, man. Because in a lot of those sectors, you have a bunch of backwards people that are racist, neo-fucking fascist, neo-Nazis, man. Talking about, yeah, they represent America. No, you don't. You know? I'd rather at some, in a lot of respects, man, I'd rather work with certain persons outside the United States who have more of an American ideal than a lot of people who claim to be, patriots and representing America. So, people talk about the truth, but they're not always telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, and this is the truth. The truth is, man, President Barack Obama, I don't see him or view him as my president, man. Fuck him. And I have the freedom of speech and, the freedom of expression to say that, man. Fuck the president of the United States of America, man. He fucking lied to me. Oh, as soon as I get in office, I'm gonna close Guantanamo Bay. Bullshit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring troops home from Afghanistan. When, man? After the fucking fact? Oh yeah, something, I got, Bin Laden. No, you fucking didn't, man. People who came before you had that intelligence information that ultimately culminated in this tip back in August that you fucking then acted on with the National Command Authority and the National, Intelligence Community. NIC, okay? And so, I mean, come on, man. Talking about you solely are responsible for having captured Obama and neutralized him and all this bullshit, man. Come on, Joint Chiefs of Staff, all these in-the-field, covert, clandestine operators, all these people who work for these different agencies, and you acted on a little tip now that you're the president claiming that you fucking went and were responsible for capturing Bin Laden, man. The U.S. military and the U.S. intelligence community working with our partners overseas are the ones and the collective body. That shit was going on for fucking 10 years before you even stepped up to the plate, homie. Okay? So fuck all that shit, man. All the president's lies. And here's another thing. We were talking about this universal healthcare plan. Man, the universal healthcare plan is easy to see through. First of all, that shit is a pipe dream. If you talk to people in socialist countries, they'll tell you that the fucking so-called universal healthcare system that they have is bullshit. You sprain your elbow, you might be waiting for 90 days to fucking see a doctor and you fucking busted your arm. Okay? That shit doesn't work, man. Universal healthcare program is a utopian fucking pipe dream. And it's not going to happen in the United States. And even hypothetically, if it did happen in America, man, check this out. That shit is not going to be fully implemented and fully operational for at least another 2 to 3 decades. We're talking 20 fucking years. If you're 40 years old, you're not going to see any of that shit until you're 60. And it's not going to happen anyway because it's a sham, man. And it's been rejected in multiple states. People shot that down, said, man, fuck that universal health care shit that Obama's talking about. It's a fucking lie. It's stupid. Okay? It's a fallacy. It's fallacious. It's a big fishtail. It's a fairy fucking tale. It's a fable. It's a farce. Alright, so let's get it straight, man. The way the Masons designed the United States of America was such that the president would not really have so much power. We ascribe certain qualities to the president just because that's what we've been socially conditioned to do. Yeah, the president holds the highest, most powerful office in the land. Really? Then why is it that there's certain information... why is it that there's certain information that the Central Intelligence Agency won't even share with the president, huh? Why is that? If he's the most powerful fucking man in the United States of America in the Western Hemisphere, then why is it that there's certain information that the CIA won't even share with the president? Come on, man. Check yourself.